We have been wanting an air fryer since we've owned this van, because who doesn't want French fries and that air fried crispy goodness? But there's a problem. We really don't have the space for it. Or do we? Normally when something new comes into the van, we have to take something out to replace it. But we are definitely not getting rid of the microwave. I use this every morning. And the Instapot, which is stored behind the water filter, we use that for quick, easy meals. So we're definitely not getting rid of that. Now, normally air fryers are pretty big and chunky, and they're just one big solid mass. And this new one, the Ninja Crispi, what a funny little name, it's kind of chunky too, but it comes apart, so we can stash these pieces anywhere around the van. We did buy this Crispi ourselves, and if you're curious about it, you can scan this QR code. It'll take you to our links page. I'll also include our bread recipe. I know we've had questions about it. It's very simple. Now, this might sound a little trivial, but people like to have routines in the morning, and we have ours. We definitely like toasted bagels. Unfortunately, we don't have a toaster, and the process that we are using right now is kind of sad because we use a pan. We fry them up, and it doesn't work very well. It's a hassle, and it takes forever. So hopefully this will solve that. This actually comes in different pieces. We have a large bowl, a medium large, and then a small. Bonus feature about these containers are they're glass, and they can actually be used for bowls. You just pop out the air fryer plate, and now you have a glass bowl that you can use for mixing dough, salads, or really whatever you need a bowl for. There was one thing that was a little weird about these is these little bottom handle plate thingies, that does not come off. But what's even more strange is it actually says it's microwave safe and dishwasher safe. Not that we have a dishwasher in the van, but still. I don't know if I would actually put this in the microwave only because, this is plastic. Now, those were the weird parts about this bottom, but there is a bonus feature. It's got little rubber feet. So when you're putting it on the counter, this is not moving, and that's gonna be nice for when it's up in our cabinets. Now, let me show you how exactly we got this to store inside the van. And we magically were able to do it without having to really remove anything. To show you what we're working with in our kitchen, down in this drawer we have our induction stove, our teapot, and blender. But up above here is where we have our plates and bowls and pans. So we're gonna try to fit all that up here. Now, I think that we're gonna keep the big pot and the little pot, but the middle one, we might not take that with us. Only because the big pot is just about the same size, it just has taller walls to it. I'm honestly surprised that this actually fits. The motor is right here in the middle. We have our small little pot here, our larger one up here. But now, this one for now, we're just gonna keep this down in the microwave. So we'll just store this right in here for now. Now that boring part is done with, let's actually cook up some stuff with this thing. And of course, let's see how much power this thing is gonna suck up, because that's pretty important. So this will work for you or not, we have a 2000 watt inverter, and that should be plenty. Now this might be a problem for some people because the cord is a little bit shorter. Since we're using the bigger container, we need to put the adapter on it, so you just put that in. This actually has multiple settings. We're gonna do the air fryer first, but it also has a bake. And I have some dough proofing on the windshield up there, so I'm curious if that would actually cook up the bread. Since there's two of us, can this actually fit 2 bagels in here? Do a little bit of a smush. Let's put this on. We want air fry. So let's just give this a try at 4 and see what it works. It's actually pretty quiet.
The ever so important power consumption. What is this thing pulling? 147 amps or 1.9 kilowatts, so almost 2000 watts. Is this thing pulling a lot of power? Yes, it's pulling a ton. It pulls actually just as much as our stove does on high. Our batteries would be dead in 1 hour and 44 minutes. But you gotta keep in mind, you're only gonna run this for a couple minutes at a time. We've only gone down 1%. We're on our last minute, and look, it's already starting to get brown on there. There is one interesting thing to note is this thing is not always constantly on, although it is constantly on. The heating element will cycle on and off. You can actually hear it click. And when that heating element clicks off, we're only pulling 12 amps. So it goes from a ton to almost none. The bagel test, that only took 3% out of our batteries.
And it took us only 4 minutes, whereas if we use the pan, We're talking a good 15, if not more.
Look how crispy these things are.
Now this thing is hot, so it will take a little while for it to cool down before we can put it back inside.
It does have little feet on there, so it says you can just set it on the counter. Probably should be a little careful with that.
Yeah.
Does it pass the crunch test? One thing I noticed right away is the bottom's actually crispy, unlike the pan fried method. Perfect.
The bagel test was definitely a success. That was an A+ for the air fryer. It's getting dark, so we're gonna be getting a campfire. We found some wood. Again, our luck has not run out when it comes to campfire wood. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna go ahead and bake up that dough, see if they can make it into biscuits, and then do some hash browns and veggies, maybe have a burrito, breakfast burrito. That sounds good. We didn't end up having a fire last night because we were pretty tired and actually passed out pretty early. We set aside some of the dough, and we actually had been having this sit out in the sun, and it kind of doubled up in size. Now we're going to spray half of the pan just because I don't know if it needs it or not. Let's spray half of it. And then let's make these little biscuits. We're gonna do the bake setting, and we're gonna do it to 10 minutes and hit start. It's been 5 minutes, let's do a quick check. And they have started to puff up. Oh, they're getting a little bit harder. Hopefully it'll cook inside, so let's continue. It definitely needs the 10. When it was on the air fry mode, it definitely made a lot more sound than it did on the bake. It's very subtle.
Power consumption is drastically different on the bake cycle. We're only pulling 125 amps, still a ton, but I also noticed that power cycle flickers, well, it switches on and off, so that heating element's off a lot of the time, so using way less power. It just finished the 10-minute cycle on bake, and we only used 2% from 91 down to 89. And they still look, they look really funny. Let's put on another 5 and we'll just check it.
That was 15 minutes. And I mean, they're a little brown. These look a little hard. Let's take them out. Okay, so the one that was not oiled came out super easy. The oiled side is actually stuck. Oh, not too terrible. Oh, that's actually really tasty. It definitely cooked in the middle, so that was good. And it has a nice outer shell that's kind of crunchy. If I would do it differently, maybe I'd try to shape them a little bit. This is kind of funny. That's part of it got into the air frying setting that's kind of squished in there. So I might make them a little bit rounder, maybe squish it down a little bit before I started cooking them. On this one, it actually got a little bit more crispy because that was on the spray side. So maybe I would spray both of them, maybe the top, or put a little butter on top of it to maybe give that extra golden good crispiness.
Kelly thinks we could get probably like 10 in there. The interesting thing is they don't really flatten out, they just go up. So get them the right size the very first time.
Interesting enough, 15 minutes on the bake setting used 3% of our battery, and the air frying for 4 minutes used 3% of our battery. So I may be seeing some cookies in the baking in there in our near future. We were gonna cook up some breakfast food, but since we got up super late, we're gonna do this for our lunch. We got some hash browns, some frozen veggies. We will definitely try some fresh veggies, see how well that does, and then we have some Beyond Steak. So let's see how well these all cook up and if they can kind of cook at the same pace. These are actually the Costco, I think they're like the feisty vegetable or fire roasted veggies. Fill that up halfway. And then we'll do 2 hash browns so that we have some space. Let's see. We're gonna wait on this because we'll put this halfway through because it actually says 350, 4 to 5. And since air fry is at 400, they might just get too crispy. So we're gonna do those halfway through. And we'll do 10 minutes. Start. One thing we notice is if you tilt it or move it off, it automatically stops itself. Let's actually flip the hash browns over. These aren't very crispy yet. One thing to be aware of is there is a hole, and as you can see, food can get down there. We did put, when we did some chickpeas, we put a little piece of tinfoil in there to stop it. I'm gonna actually put a zucchini right on top, so it won't, this will spread in there. Okay, add these, and start. All right, let's mix this up a little bit and then we'll add a few, like another 5 minutes. Do be aware that this glass is hot. So when you're touching it, be extra careful. This is after 15 minutes. This definitely looks crispy. These are crispy and these appear to be done. Even though this does have legs, when you put it down, that does make the surface hot. So just be careful of that. For 15 minutes, throwing a bunch of frozen stuff in there, it was pretty quick. It's a little bit full. I might have a breakage. The hash brown's definitely crispy.
All right, let's talk about overall power consumption. So we never saw it go over 2,000 watts. It was like 1.6, 1.8, 1.2, depending on which mode you have it on. I think that heating element just cycles on and off. So as long as you have a 2,000 watt inverter, you'd be able to run something like this. Now, with that being said, this thing is not using any more than our induction cooktop or Instant Pot. It's just basically another tool that we have that we can be able to cook. I just like the idea of being able to bake on electricity, because we can bake right now, but we have to use propane. But this way, we just don't have that extra resource we would have to worry about. One other nice thing about this is, since this thing is covered, when it runs, you're not having splatter go around. And so like when we're cooking on a frying pan, we got to be real careful when you're inside cooking, because you'll get splatter. You don't want to get it on this because it's a pain in the butt to clean. Where this thing, it's all self-contained. You really just have one excess port right here that's going to blow hot air out. But other than that, you're not going to have to worry about food flying around.
So are we going to keep this in the van? 100% yes. I see us using this quite a bit actually. And I think the key part is that it comes apart in pieces. So it's easy to find little spots to store it at. I think with all the baking and cooking tests that we did, it definitely worked. Power consumption, it was manageable. And I only wish that maybe that base plate could come off, and so it could be just a glass bowl so I could put it in the microwave. Yes, it says it's microwave safe, but I don't know, I don't want to have that plastic in the microwave. A big thanks to all of our YouTube members. We really appreciate it. You can go watch this video next. You can find us at exploretrekadventure.com, and we'll see you next time.